You led me straight to the lost city. Now, prepare to die.
Hello guys. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. In this video we will present the 10 best thriller films on Netflix. What are these films? Let's see.
This is not a romance novel. Jungles eat people like us.
Ah, what is that? Get it off. Please. I can feel him sucking my soul. River like a bandit. Don't make that sound.
911, this is emergency operator 625.
I've just been robbed.
Okay,
Number
sir,
10,
I didn't know where
The
you
Guilty.
Are. Last name?
Is this the fire department?
No, ma'am, you've reached 911, but I can connect you to fire.
The Guilty is a thriller film released in 2021 on Netflix. The film was directed by Antoine Fuqua and stars Jake Gyllenhaal as the main character, Joe Baylor. Joe Baylor is a former police officer who now works as a 911 emergency call operator in Los Angeles. One night, he received a call from a young woman named Emily Lighton who claimed to have been kidnapped by a man.
Mommy, she's gonna be okay.
You promise?
I promise. You have air support?
Even though Joe is in a call center and cannot be directly involved in the case, he feels called to help. When he realizes that Emily's life is in danger, Joe begins his own investigation over the phone. This film utilizes a limited setting and focuses only on telephone interactions to create an intense atmosphere.
Hard. Pull it.
Number 9, The Stranger. The Stranger is adapted from the true story of the murder of Daniel Morcombe, which occurred in 2003. The film itself was directed by Thomas M. Wright, and starred several names such as Joel Edgerton, Sean Harris, Jada Alberts, and many more. Here, we will be presented with the story of a police undercover investigation to investigate a kidnapping case that is difficult to solve.
Whole body's gonna relax. Your feet.
The police went undercover to gain the trust of a character named Henry Teague and lure him into confessing to a crime he had committed. A large, secret operation is moving behind the scenes, to uncover a very shocking kidnapping case in the country. It should be noted, even though it was adapted from a true story from Daniel Morcombe, the family did not want to be involved in making this film.
And out of the blackness.
Jake, my boyfriend.
Number 8, I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
It's coming in.
We have a real connection.
Well, this film combines drama and thriller, but this is not an ordinary film because it invites the audience to think about the ending that is presented. I'm Thinking of Ending Things is a film directed by Charlie Kaufman, who also co-wrote the film's script. The film stars Jesse Plemons and Jessie Buckley and tells the story of an unnamed young woman, played by Jessie Buckley, who reflects on her love affair with her boyfriend, Jake.
There's something profoundly wrong here.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I think of ending.
Although she feels uncertain about their relationship and is thinking about ending it all, she is willing to visit Jake's parents' house in the country with him. But as the film progresses, we will see strange clues and make the young woman feel trapped between reality and shadow. This thriller film is indeed complex, but it is very suitable for you to watch.
We're stationary, and time passes through us.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, honey.
Number 7, The Devil All the Time. The Devil All the Time tells the story of a series of characters that take place over several time periods and places in the United States. The story begins after World War II in the small town of Knockemstiff, Ohio, and continues to expand to include West Virginia. The focus of the story is on Arvin Russell, played by Tom Holland, a young man who grows up in an environment full of violence and moral diversity.
You take pictures?
Arvin experienced various tragedies and losses in his life. Meanwhile, other characters who appear are a corrupt priest, a husband and wife serial killer, and a corrupt policeman. Each character is involved in actions and decisions that they make themselves, until finally their stories will be connected to each other. This film was directed by Antonio Campos. Apart from starring Tom Holland, the film also stars other actors such as Bill Skarsgård, Riley Keough, Jason Clarke, Sebastian Stan, and many more.
My daddy did. Delusions! I have to.
Hay tres clases de personas.
Number 6, The
Los de
Platform.
arriba. Los de abajo.
The Platform is a Spanish thriller film released on Netflix in 2019. This film was directed by Galder Gaztelu Urrutia and became a topic of conversation at various international film festivals. This film has a unique concept by showing images of social life in the real world. The platform is set in a vertical prison called The Hole. Each level of the prison has 2 prisoners trapped there for several months as part of a social experiment. In the middle of their cells was a large platform that carried food for all the prisoners. The platform starts on the top floor and goes down to the bottom floor very quickly, giving food to the prisoners on the top level first. However, the problem is that the food is only enough for a few levels in the beginning. The lower the floor, the less food is left. Thus, the prisoners on the upper floors often ate to excess, leaving the prisoners on the lower floors to starve. Here, there is a new prisoner named Goring, who must learn to survive in this situation.
I love you, Daddy.
Love you, sweetheart.
Number 5, Fractured. Fractured is a thriller film released on Netflix in 2019. The film was directed by Brad Anderson and stars Sam Worthington, Lily Robb, and Stephen Tobolowsky. Ray Monroe, his wife Joanne, and their daughter, Perry, were in a terrible car accident. After the accident, they were taken to a nearby hospital for medical treatment. However, after Joanne and Perry underwent an examination in the emergency room, Ray was told that his wife and daughter were never in the hospital records and probably only existed in his imagination.
There hasn't been a scan since 9 o'clock this morning.
So what are you telling me?
They're not here.
Ray is convinced that his wife and daughter were kidnapped by the hospital and tries hard to prove their existence. However, every attempt to meet him was met with opposition from the hospital, who insisted that Ray come alone and not bring his family. He then makes a desperate attempt to find out the truth. This film does have lots of plot twists, and ends quite well thanks to Sam Worthington's great acting.
I mean, he's a head case.
Put down all your guns!
What have you done to my family? Where'd you take my family?
Number 4, Hush. This film was directed by Mike Flanagan and written by Flanagan along with Kate Siegel, and released in 2016. Hush tells the story of Maddie Young, a writer who is deaf and lives alone in a remote house in the woods. One night, she finds herself the target of a psychopathic killer who decides to ambush her at his home. The killer realized that Maddie was deaf, and he felt that this was the perfect opportunity to bring horror to a voiceless victim who couldn't call for help. Maddie must use her wits and courage to fight the killer and survive. A tactical war ensues between the clever Maddie and the cruel and sadistic killer. While Maddie tries to survive in every way possible, she also tries to find a way to turn the tide and defeat the killer before it's too late. Mike Flanagan is able to cleverly build intense tension throughout the film.
Aquí cada mes de alquiler es una sangría.
Number 3, The Occupant.
¿Hasta cuándo vamos a poder continuar así? Son 4.
The Occupant had Hogarth's original title. Spanish thriller film released in 2020 on Netflix, where the film was directed by David Pastor and Alex Pastor. The Occupant tells the story of Javier Munoz, an advertising executive who suddenly loses his job. This job loss forced him and his family to move to a more modest apartment. However, Javier cannot forget his former luxurious life and social status.
El puesto que tenemos libre.
He begins to feel jealous and obsessive about the new partner living in her old apartment, Tomas. Javier's obsession with his old apartment and the life he left behind drives him to plan and carry out a series of manipulative and dangerous acts. In his attempt to reclaim the life he considers worthy, Javier is plunged into an increasingly dark world, threatening the existence of the new couple. Javier Gutierrez and Mario Casas, the film's 2 main actors, had worked together previously on the film The Invisible Guest, 2016, which was also a very successful Spanish psychological thriller. Number 2, Velvet Buzzsaw. Velvet Buzzsaw is an American satirical horror thriller film released in 2019 on Netflix. The film was directed by Dan Gilroy and stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Renee Russo, Zawe Ashton, Toni Collette, and John Malkovich. The film is set in Los Angeles, where many people take part in an exhibition presenting the artwork of a recently deceased artist, which is later discovered by a woman named Josefina. Unbeknownst to those around him, these arts have supernatural powers and bring disaster to anyone who tries to profit from them. The main character, Morph Vandewald, who is a famous art critic, realizes that this art is actually a curse. However, people continue to try to profit from the art, despite the huge risks involved. This film marks another collaboration between directors Dan Gilroy, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Rene Russo. They previously worked together in the film Nightcrawler, 2014. Number 1, Stowaway. The film was directed by Joe Penna and stars Anna Kendrick, Daniel Day Kim, Shamir Anderson, and Toni Collette. Interestingly, most of this film was filmed using special effects to create scenes that took place in outer space. Stowaway tells the story of a space mission to Mars carried out by Captain Marina Barnett, biologist David Kim, medical scientist Zoe Levinson, and engineer Michael Adams.
I should warn you now that Zoe thinks she's the in-flight entertainment.
However, while on their journey, they found a technician named Michael who accidentally boarded a spaceship as a stowaway. Michael's presence carries serious consequences due to the limited oxygen supply and may threaten the safety of the mission and the lives of everyone on board. The astronauts must find ways to overcome these unexpected challenges and try to preserve limited resources.
20 days. I think we should put ourselves at risk.
There's no way for all of us to survive.
It's imperative that we try.
Those are some of the best Netflix thriller films right now. These films offer intense suspense, and are very suitable for those of you who like thrillers. Among these films, which is your favorite? That's enough for this video. Don't forget to press the subscribe button, like and comment on this video so that we are more enthusiastic about making other top 10 videos. And of course, share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.